Now, when both of the eyebrows are perfectly measured, I went one on the one side already with skeleton. So I'm gonna zoom it, and now you will check how slowly I go for the skeleton. So as you can see, I didn't went through from really ends of the hair stroke. I start slightly before, and I go very short movements, very short one. So it's like a outline movements. I barely go out of the skin. I just keep the needle inside, stretching the skin very intense. So you can see my small finger, it's stretching down, and I have another three fingers basically stretching the skin. So those three fingers from the upper part, they pull the skin up, and they stretch it between the fingers as well. So the skin become that tight, that the needle actually support to giving the pigments, to putting the pigment into the skin. I can see even open pores, and I can see basically how the blood comes out sometimes. But this is the procedure that it's really depend of the client, how does she feel like, etc. But if this is a line, this is not powder, this is not ombre effect, so the lines can be a little bit more intense for the body to handle. Although if you check it closer, you can see that I do very, very short movements, very slow movements, and those are not something that they are not giving you feeling like pendulum. So basically, it is very important that we go very slowly. As you can see, I do only the skeleton right now. So my skeleton is the most important part, just to not lose the outline, because with the hair stroke we do not go as outlined the same way as a ombre. With hair stroke, with NanoBrows hair stroke, the skeleton is our outline. That's why the skeleton, it have to be started before anything, and the skeleton have to be visible in order later on to draw the baby strokes between. And the baby strokes between are done as soon as the skeleton is fully pigmented. So I go, as you can see, I'm not even going out of the line, I'm not powdering them, I just keep going with the proper lines inside. So my skeleton, it goes from the tail to the front, and in the front obviously the color, it needs to be slightly lighter, so I don't push that much, and I still keep the color same way. So stretching the skin, have you noticed how much I stretch the skin from one side to the other? It's kind of with two or three fingers plus the small finger on the other hand. So small finger, it is also stretching the skin, and it's not just relaxing just to hold it my hand, but also stretching the skin. Minimum 2-3 fingers, they are stretching the skin on the upper part plus the small finger. Then the needle can be much more sharp, and then the needle can actually support much better pigment implementation. Now, if I go with the front stretch, have you noticed that I go with the hair stroke in the middle? So I powder then lower, and then I powder then up. Okay, I start from the middle point of the hair stroke. Now I apply a little bit more anesthetic just for skin to relax a little bit. I put no more than 2 drops, and that's completely enough. And then I just go all over between, kind of like a cleaning the skin, because I know that the open pores are gonna absorb very fast. The skin can become even red during this. You can cover with small occlusion, you don't need to, because basically anesthetic, water anesthetic can work very fast. So as soon as I just clean it, now I can see the skeleton, the full skeleton. Important part to clean it with only with water. And when it's clean, you can easily see the skeleton, that it needs to be repassed once again. And also now is the time to repass fully. So once again, kind of like layover on the skeleton that I did, plus the baby hair stroke between. So I'm gonna stretch the skin a little bit more and show you how does it look like. You can see that I go through the skeleton once again. And if I can see that some of the hair strokes, they are not visible or they are just barely visible, like this one, it left a small gap. I just want to intensify the skeleton, because the skeleton is the most important part of the eyebrow. That's why we just need to focus over there, and it's important to not leave a small gap for next stage, because the next step it will be to fill in with the baby hair stroke. So wherever I do not see the proper outline and the proper skeleton, I shouldn't go forward. Okay, make sure that every time when you build your structure, it have to be built from the skeleton. Yeah. Now I'm implementing and fading for the longer lasting effect. It means that now, have you noticed, I'm fading now, hop 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 hop, and those last movements are basically more powdery. They're not same movements as with the line. Let me just zoom it for you. So here we can see that the back side she barely has hair, and here in front she can still see some kind of the hair, her natural hair, right? But in order to see the proper hair stroke, I take one finger and I cover her natural hair. I just pull them out, and now I just basically go with the needle between. This is helping me to achieve the most natural result under her hair, because there are not a lot of people that basically they're coming just with the same amount of the hair all over the eyebrow. Most likely you will have a client that she has just a little bit hair, for example in front or in the back side or in the middle of the eyebrow, and the rest of the eyebrow is not that well visible. So with every pass, now I just want to focus to build the top up of the skeleton, and I still do not proceed with a baby hair stroke. For me, the most important part is to see very, very well, like very good visibility, and also to powder the last parts. So I'm gonna mention you once again that now when I clean it, and still I can see that the front of the eyebrows have more hair, but my hair stroke are not visible because of that. I just want to clean it between her natural hair. Yeah, so I just get remove of the pigment. And now have a check my movements. They are more powdering out. Hop, 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 hop. They're a little bit faster, and I'm powdering them out.